So as you can see today, I am not in the kitchen, and you're probably wondering, where is he? What's he doing? Well, I've gone fishing, of course. I'm going to see if I can catch a nice fish. Well, then we'll go back to the kitchen and we'll do some wonders with it. So today I've come to the west coast of England, lovely little bay near St. Bees, and I've got the place to myself. Oh no, there's somebody over there, right over there. They're not fishing. So let's see what we can do. Have a look at the place, it's beautiful. Right, let's see what we can do. I mean, the thing about fishing, it's not always about just catching the fish, it's getting out for the day, switching off, coming to beautiful landscapes like this. Obviously it's nice to catch a fish now and then, but it's nice just to get out, switch off. I don't know if you're all fishermen out there, but I'm sure a few of you are, and you'll understand. But obviously we're here today to catch something to cook. It's not the end of the world. There's a good fishmongers. If we don't get a catch, we've got a good fishmonger local to us. But I just really enjoy fishing. It's so nice. Well, that's it for the day, and not a bad day. Beautiful day, in fact, you know, get out fishing. And we've caught what we came to catch, a nice pollock. We'll get a good meal out of that. So I've got a bit of a drive back home, and I can have a think of what we're going to do with it. So this is a nice sized pollock for eating, really. It's not too big, you know, you're going to get a nicer flavour with a smaller one, but obviously it's a legal size to keep if you're fishing. It's a similar to cod in a way, a little bit more delicate, but from the same family, not as strong a flavour, but it's sort of underrated, but it is becoming more and more popular now. And I'm not really sure why that is, whether it's just because there's less cod being caught or something, but so I'm good. On the way back, on the drive back, I was sort of thinking what I could do with it, and I thought, well, I could do something Japanese with different flavors. I could maybe go with a miso or something like that, but then I thought, no, we'll keep it simple. We'll let the flavor of the fish sort of do the talking, and we'll do something fairly simple today. So first job is to fillet the fish. I'm no expert on this, but you know, I mean, obviously I'm an expert at fishing because I caught it. But I know the sort of basics, and I can get 2 nice fillets off a fish, so we'll be okay. So first, we're just going to do just to the back of this fin. We just do an angle cut. Then we're going to go in right next to these top fins, and if we just score first right along the back, and then when you're sort of doing this first cut, what you're trying to do is feel for the bones, and you keep it against the bones. Then you're getting all of the flesh off. So we're just cutting through to the backbone with the first cut. And we can go right down. Just take that a little bit deeper. So there you can start to see. So, but what we're going to do from here, we're going to leave this top section and we're going to go over the backbone, and then we're going to cut right through, and then we just come all the way through to the tail. So the back part is filleted, but this sort of front section is still on. Then we can just go back the other direction, and we can take that across. That'll do. So you get a fillet sort of shape like that. And then we'll do the other side. Other side is basically the same, because you're right-handed and it works slightly different, but I'll try and do it so you can still see. So the back of the fin, that angled cut, so it's just across to that angle. I mean, obviously sharp knife helps an awful lot, but just be careful. Watch where your fingers are. And then through just beside the fin. And we can just go along, go right up to the head on this side, on this one. But just again, just to the backbone. Then if you just put your knife right through, and then right through to the tail. Oops. Not as tidy as the first one, but that's okay. Right, so there's still some meat. I've probably left too much on there really, but that's okay for what we're doing, because I'm actually going to use this to make the stock and to make a nice sauce to go with the fish. It's a bit of respect to the fish that we've just caught. Let's use all of it, and we'll get as much as we can out of it. We use the flavour from these bones and the head to get a beautiful stock for a beautiful sauce. So we'll just cut this up into 3 pieces. And they'll go in to the pan for, well, actually we'll just put them on here for the minute, and they'll do for our stock. So once you've got your 2 fillets, normally then you could go along with a pair of tweezers and you can take out the pin bones. But to be honest, with pollock, they don't seem to come out that easy, and you end up quite messy. They don't really want to just pull out neatly. So the easy way with pollock, if you actually see you'll feel the bones as you go along. What you're going to have to do is just cut just to each side, just like a sort of a V cut in a way. And we'll just take that piece out. It only goes just past halfway, but if you just sort of put your finger there, you'll feel them and you'll know where to go. But it's just sort of past halfway, and that'll be the bones in there. So we'll still use that for the stock. So the same with this one. Just feel where they are, and then cut right through. I'll do. And then we'll just trim this side off. And this one's sort of okay. Yeah, no fins left on there. So that's the 2 fillets done, ready to cook. So first thing to do is we'll make the stock for the sauce, because the fish is really quick to cook. So we get the sauce just about ready, and then there's no waiting around. The fish isn't sitting, get the timing right. So for the stock, we've got onion, we've got celery, we've got carrot, and we've got garlic. I like to fairly finely chop them because you're not cooking this stock too long. It wants to be 25-30 minutes. So to get the flavour out of these, I'll finely chop them. So a little bit of oil in the pan. And we'll get some heat on. And then we just get all these in. So the first thing to do is just to soften the vegetables. So I'm not taking these too far. I'm not trying to brown them, just slightly soften them. And then we'll add the fish. Well, not the fish, this is the bone and the head. And we'll just get a little bit of colour onto that. It's not, don't worry too much about that though. All we're trying to do is maximise the flavour of the fish. A little bit of white wine. And then we've just got sort of, what we've got, 200 ml of chicken stock. You may think, chicken stock is a bit odd, but it really brings out the flavour. And then I'm just going to top that off with some boiling water, just to sort of cover the fish head nearly. That'll do fine. So we just bring that back to the boil and then we turn it down just to a simmer and we'll give it 20-25 minutes and that's our stock ready. Right, so that's the stock is now ready. So it's had 25 minutes, smells delicious. You know, the fishiness in there, it's really good. Right, so the next step, we're going to sieve it. You could just use a sieve, but a chinois, what's a chinois? It's a French sieve. No, it's like a fine, it's finer than a normal sieve, so it will sieve everything out so you get a clearer stock. Really useful, you should get one. And they're fairly cheap as well. Go to like a catering place, the best place to get one. So we'll just sieve that. This is where I make a mess, obviously. Oh no, not too bad. And then we'll just let that drain. Don't push it through, because if you start to, when you're sieving something like this, you push it through, you're just going to start getting some of the solids through, and we just want the liquid. So just let it sort of sit for a minute and just drain itself. Right, that will do. We'll just put that back in the pan. So now we've just got this beautiful fish stock. Oh, it tastes good, really good. I'm not, you may notice I haven't seasoned it yet, no salt and pepper yet. I'll wait and do that with the sauce because it's always best to do it later and then we can get the flavour just right. So for the sauce, a little bit of oil in the frying pan. And then we've got finely chopped onion. You could use shallot. Classically in this sort of like it's a butter sort of beurre blanc style of sauce, you would use shallot, but I'm not. I'm using onion. Onion's absolutely fine. Shallot gives it a little bit of sweetness. Just cook that off for a minute or so, and then we're going to add white wine. Like a small glass white wine. And then we more or less just cook the alcohol off of that wine. So you sort of reduce it down by a third sort of thing. Right, the stock. So we've got quite a bit of stock there. We've got like a pint. So I just want to use about half of that. What we can do with the rest is just put it in like a freezer bag, put it in the freezer, and then save it for next time. If you buy fish from the store that's not on the bone, then you've got your stock to make your sauce. So now we're going to reduce that to about half, really, maybe even a little bit less. So just put it on a low heat, just let it simmer away, reduce, and we'll get them flavours coming together. But what I will do is I'm just going to add some dill. I'm not chopping it, I'm just leaving it on the stalk. We'll just add that. It's going to add to the flavour. It's going to complement the fish flavour. Right, so that's reduced down to about a third, and you can smell it. It starts to intensify the sort of aroma of the sauce. So what we can do is just take out the dill. That's done its job. Stalk. And what we're going to do is add butter. That's going to be about sort of 70-80 grams of butter. We'll just add that into there. Now if we just keep stirring that, and what this will do is start to sort of thicken. So to this point that we'll taste this and we'll see what seasoning it needs. So it definitely needs a little bit of salt and pepper, which I knew it would need anyway. So just carry on cooking that, and it will start to thicken up more. Just give that another quick taste. That's good. That's looking good. So the final touch is a little bit of double cream. So that's about done. You can start to see the thickness. If you run your spatula across the pan, you can start to get a good idea of the thickness. I'm not taking it all the way, because what I'll do is once I've cooked the fish, and that's going to rest for a couple of minutes, we can then just finish this and give it the final sort of cook and thicken it. Right, to cook the fish, a little bit of olive oil. Better in a non-stick pan, especially with a fish like this, quite a delicate skin. Saves damaging it. And what I've done, I've just cut the fillets into 3 pieces each. So you'll find that on the top main fillet, you've got a thicker piece. So we're going to start with that first. So skin side down. Not too high a heat. You don't need that. Little bit of salt and pepper on the top. So what we'll do there, we'll start to get a nice sort of crispiness to the skin. But if you actually have a look at the side, what you're going to do is you're going to you'll see it start to go white on the side, and you're looking for it to go white at nearly halfway up, and then we're going to turn it. Right, so you can see it's more or less white, it's cooked halfway up. So all we're going to do, we'll quickly turn them. And basically 30 seconds or so is enough. Right, let's get them onto a plate. And we'll cover them with some foil. And then we'll get the rest of these fillets in. So these are a little bit thinner, so they'll cook a little bit quicker. Salt and pepper. And I'm just pressing them down just because they want to curl up, so I'm just keeping them flat. Right, so we can just cover them, and they'll be fine for another 5 minutes or so. So what I've done with the sauce is I've just strained it just to get rid of the onion. We don't need that extra flavour of the onion in this. So we can just get that back up to temperature, and that'll be ready. Just takes 1 minute. By adding the cream, it sort of helps. If you didn't add the cream, you've got a risk of it splitting with the butter, but just that little bit of cream makes it easy, really, and it's a really nice flavour. Right, that's okay, and now we can serve. So I like to serve the fish with maybe boiled potatoes. Could you serve it with rice or something like that, but and then a few of these nice tomatoes. And then just to finish off, a little bit of chopped dill just over the fish. And there we have it. So really tasty dish, this one. And it makes it taste even better that I've gone and caught the fish. It's really good. Really nice flavour actually. Even though they say it doesn't, it doesn't have as much flavour as like cod, it is really tasty, really tasty. And the sauce just complements it so nice. So to do this one, you don't have to go and catch the fish, unless you really want it. I think you should. Just go to your fishmonger. And you can do it with other fishes as well. This sauce will complement most fishes really well. So give it a go, and I hope you enjoy it. But we'll see you back soon for more Just Good Food, and we might have another fishing trip. I'm actually thinking I do like salmon fishing, so we could get out, do a bit of salmon fishing, and then we'll come up with a nice recipe for salmon. That would be good, and some more sea fishing, of course. So we'll see you next time.